Hey, this is Omar, and quick recap of the Thursday night game between the Saints and the Cardinals. Um, you know, D Hop came back, looking good, and the defense, capitalized on the early turnovers to win the game, 42-34. Uh, shit, you know, Kyler Murray. He ain't had to do too much because Benjamin, he kind of had a good running game. Kyler, he was 29, 204, and one touchdown. That was pretty efficient game. But it was all about Benjamin, and for the team, they had 29 carries, 137 yards, two touchdowns. And Benjamin chimed in with 12 carries, 92 yards, and one touchdown. 45-yarder was his longest. And then the young kid Ingram, he got in there with a short touchdown run. So, they really was a more physical team as far as that go. That was some a little bit of their recipe as far as how they want to win games. You know what I'm saying? You got the security blanket Hopkins out there on 14 targets. He caught 10 for 103. And Rondo Moore had 1 for 31, and Ingram, he chimed in with 2 for 23, and Ertz had 2 for 21. I think that they, just because they reintroducing Hopkins back into the offense, they shouldn't forget about Ertz. You know what I'm saying? Ertz has a lot of big play capability, as well as Rondell Moore. He recently got reintroduced back into the offense and the fold, and so they got to remember to not just be a Hopkins dominated team. Like, remember to incorporate everybody, and the offense probably could, bump up to another level. Some games they lost that, they could have won. They could have early switched the score on the Eagles game, where they could have got that win, and then they probably be, over we're at 500, so I'm thinking that they gonna they could ride a wave a little bit. They still gonna have opportunities. Um, even though they lost to the Seahawks, they get to play them again, and see if they can get some wins back in their division. But you go ahead and you look at the defense was phenomenal. Like I said, you get well, it's not as far as rushing the passer, not really, but the fact that they was able to turn them turnovers into touchdowns. Isaiah Simmons, I mean, so far he hasn't really had the career that everybody thought he was gonna have coming out of Clemson. But yesterday was one of his better performing days. And then also you had Wilson also get the other, interception for a touchdown. So, they have certain people that could be beasts, like everybody like Buda Baker. He a straight dog, you know what I'm saying? One of the better safeties in the league. So they just gotta get some footing. Now New Orleans, they they probably gonna be in a lot of games, but they probably gonna lose just because of their quarterback play. And that might be a good thing for them, because then that can give them a potential, future, draft pick, high draft pick, where they can get a quarterback for the future. So, but Dalton played solid, you know what I'm saying? You can't even knock how he played. He was 30 or 47, take the interceptions away, 361 for a touchdown. So he's kind of, real comfortable in this offense. Kamar and the running game didn't really do too much. As a team, they had 22 for 85, and Kamar had 11 for 49. That's not too much. Didn't really help. Chris Olave, he's kind of stepping up as potentially turning into the new number one, especially since Michael Thomas always be hurt. So he caught 7 for another 100-yard game. He had 106 and no touchdowns. And Will Kamar chimed in with 7 catches, 56 on 9 targets. So um he kind of was spreading the ball around. He started throwing it to a lot of people that we don't know. Jawan Johnson definitely has a some upside as far as like tight end. Dalton really likes to use his tight ends. Like when he was in Cincinnati, he kind of um put Tyler Effort. Yeah, I think that was his name, Tyler Effort, on the map. You know what I'm saying? So he's not scared to use the tight end, which is good because Jawan Johnson kind of make plays for them. So they getting some. I would say, if anything, they getting some fantasy dudes. Introducing some fantasy dudes into the fold. But as far as overall as a team, they going to be lacking. The quarterback's going to put them at disadvantage. You throwing pick sixes, and that's putting the defense behind the hole. Cam Jordan had a sack. They had 2 as a team, and they ain't getting no turnovers. So like I said, they're going to be in games, but it's just going to be the quarterback play that might let them down. And they, like I said, they're gonna be one of them bad teams. It's just gonna be a tough out. But your team probably get the win, but they're gonna play hard. So that's probably the team that they're gonna round out to be for the remainder of this year. All right, that's my quick thoughts on it. Thanks for listening.